you know, we came in with an idea of focus on a mindset of mission, team, me. We talked about it all week, and we wanted to, you know, put the mission first and team first and me last. And I thought we had a lot of guys do that today. You know, we did it together. We put ourselves out there. We knew we could play winning football. And I think this team's improving and getting better, but we're still not where we need to be. I was certainly proud of the competitors that went out and fought today for our university and continue to do that. I was proud of our fans. They supported us, even though we didn't start the way we wanted to, but we responded and played well. We're able to control the line of scrimmage, which ultimately is the difference in this conference. If you can win the line of scrimmage, you got a chance.
Carson's poised today, and was there any doubt that he was going to be, that moment wasn't going to be too big for him in your mind?
No, I don't worry about Carson. I mean, apparently you guys do, but I don't worry about Carson. He's very confident. He's calm. He understands football. He never real high, never real low. He studies really hard. He texts questions all week. He studies and meets with Coach Bobo. He puts a plan together, and he makes good decisions. And he's continued to improve by not putting us in bad situations. And there's things that aren't on the stat sheet that I don't have time to explain that he does an elite job. Run checks, looks, putting us in the best play, decision to throw the RPO or hand the ball off. And there's not really a value you can put on that. You know, I know as a defensive coordinator, there's not much worse than feeling like you got the right call, and he moves the back, he moves the tight end, and he runs it, and you got a bad call. And that's tough.
Kirby, I know building a championship level program was your foremost in your mind when you came down. But how did this rivalry sort of fit into that and sort of trying to take over and turn it around?
Well, you can't win the East without going through Jacksonville most of the time. You know, this year it may not play out that way, but in years past we show them the stat of, I don't know if it's 8 of the last 10, 7 of the last 10 has come through Jacksonville, and maybe more than that. And when you're building a program, you gotta beat the best teams in your division, and Florida's certainly been that historically, one of the best teams in our division.
Coach, they go down there and score quick on that first drive. Anything said, done on the sideline, and the way the defense responded after that?
Not really. I mean, we're kind of getting used to that. I mean, we gave it up against Vanderbilt, I think, and maybe South Carolina. I think both those games, and there's not a lot of panic in that group. We certainly need to rectify starting the game better, but the comfortable part is that nobody panics. We had some mistakes, some anxiety, hadn't played in 2 weeks. Give them credit. They threw the ball to a really good playmaker. We talked all week about Wilson in 3. He's a really good player, and they did a great job utilizing his skill set. And we didn't do a great job stopping it. But it wasn't like there was a panic mode. It was, can we control the run game? If we can control the run game, we'll eventually slow down the throw.
I mean, there's so much talk about Rob Bauer's absence, but you know, it's a great separation by the offense, defense, and special teams all coming together to make big plays. What was that like to see?
It's great. I've told people that this offense is, I mean, it's not built around one player. I mean, since Bobo was here before and had success offensively, and Todd Monken was here and had success offensively, and Coach Monken left, and Bobo came, and like, it's not built around one player. It's really built around the defense. That's the beauty of it, is that you don't have to have just one guy. Brock is certainly extremely valuable because you can scheme plays to make him the guy. Well, today there were plays we run with Brock. There was somebody else in those spots, and it's not always Delp. You know, I thought Delp did a tremendous job, especially momentum early in the game, to go up and make that catch that he made. But Brock knows that. Brock's over there to support those guys.
Coach, talk about the defense and how it's built on defense. That 4th down stop early in the game kind of shifted the momentum. How surprised were you that they went for it there in the way they did?
Not surprised they went for it at all. I actually had the staff meeting before the game. I told them, I said, my gut intuition, this game's going to come down to some short yardage situations. I said, typically, when you play Billy, he's very aggressive in terms of analytics and believes in it, and he has a lot of 4th downs he goes for it all. We're going to win some, we're going to lose some, but you know, we're going to go defend them. We're going to work really hard on that. And I told the offensive staff, I said, if it comes down to a 3rd and 1 or 2, 4th and 1 or 2, we're going for it. And shooting, they're going to go for it. So let's make sure we walk through that and do that more in the next 12, 14 hours, and I'll be danged if that play. It was early in the game where you can still overcome that play, but it was certainly a big momentum play that we thought if we had our eyes in the right spot, we could play it.
Lots of tackles for loss, sacks by you guys tonight. How are you guys so effective getting in their backfield, making plays?
Well, they gave us an opportunity to, drop back pass. You get a chance to. We don't get a lot of opportunities for that in earlier games, and the more people drop back and pass, the more we'll be able to get to them. I thought our defensive staff, Schumann, Muschamp, Trey, and Fran did a great job. They put a couple new wrinkles in that really helped in terms of getting pressure. We didn't just do the same thing we always do, and I think there's one call that we got 2 tackles for a loss and maybe a sack, all from that call that we had not run all year.
Kirby, from ground level, was the turf okay?
I didn't really know. I did ask some people before the game that it was called lay and play, and it concerned me because when you do lay and play, is it ready? We do it at our place. And I saw the seams, so I was worried about it, but I never noticed anything during the game. Was somebody complaining about it? Who?
Marshak's got hurt before the game.
Yeah, I think CBS broadcast.
He played.
He did, with a knee brace.
He played. But I asked them, I actually said, what's the deal? And they said they laid it over a week ago. Well, we laid ours yesterday, and we're going to practice on it Monday. And it's probably the same stuff. I think they do it all across the country for bowl games and things like that. So I did not notice any issues with that, but I did see the seams in the grass.
Coach,
Kirby,
mentioned all
what
the
did you say
havoc and
about-
everything. Well, today the block punt too, that he's playing this game
Huge
as well.
play in the game. Great scheme. Our special team staff came up with it and wanted to be aggressive, and we were. Jonell, they actually gave us a formation we had not seen, and Jonell made a great job, blocked it out. We're going to get 2 out of that because we ended up kicking. They punt to us, and then we didn't do anything with it, so it was really not as significant as you would like a block punt to be.
Kirby, what does it say about the entire enterprise? After 3 years, you lose 19 draft choices, 8 in the first round, whatever it is, and you're still playing at this level.
It's really about the retention of our staff and our players. I mean, we have lost some really good players, and we have really had some injuries. And I think the total effect has been that our kids believe. There's a culture in our building of discipline. We don't get penalties. We're one of the least penalized teams in the country. We don't beat ourselves. And we have a quarterback who gives us an opportunity. And we've got defensive players that play really hard. I mean, it's a recipe for you to have success. The margin of that success is certainly measured by you guys by wins and losses. But for me, it's the character of the kids I get to coach.
Well, played by Ingram Dawkins. I didn't know he was going to play with you. Did you sneak him in there? Was he able to come back kind of surprised?
We talked about it. Everybody that asked, I never asked about him. So all you do is ask. He was back during the week, and he's not healthy. He's not completely healthy, but we shut him down for 6 weeks, and they felt like it was time for him to come back. And he said, "Coach, this foot's either going to give or it's not." He said, "I can't keep sitting. I got to go play." And so he felt really good this week. I don't think he's in very good shape, but it was an added boost for us, just morale-wise, to get a guy back that we think could have had one of his best years, and he hadn't been able to. So I was really proud of him to get that sack fumble, the first fumble of the season to recover.
What about Ladd to have the success that he had today?
Yeah, I think it came at the right time, right? With Brock out and Ladd to step up and make plays, and got to keep him healthy because he's such a weapon, and he's such a competitor. I mean, the guy, the yards after catch is what he gives us that a lot of other guys hadn't done. He catches it and runs with it and does a tremendous job. And hey, you got to give the line a lot of credit for the protection to get it to Ladd, and the quarterback making some plays. That third down play he made was really special.
I was going to ask about the offensive line. It seemed like he had all day to throw. Carson, best they played collectively, you think, this so far this year?
I don't know. They played good a lot. They played really good a lot. I think they played a good team. They zeroed us. They blitzed us. Carson was able to make good decisions. The play to Dylan Bell was probably the backbreaker. It's just really incredible that he made that throw, and they were in good coverage for it. And Dylan beat his guy, and Carson made a great throw, and Dylan made a great catch. But the protection was there too.
Coach, how'd y'all go about?
How do you think he stepped up in terms of leadership and preparation heading into this game?
Oscar's great. He didn't feel any more burden. We told him that. He wasn't going to play any more snaps than he normally does. I mean, he was going to go out and compete and work hard. Lawson Lucky gave him a blow. And, hey, that's why you recruit guys. You bring them into play. And I wouldn't say that he's exactly ready for it. He got hit a couple times in the run game, but he's going to have to get ready for it. And I don't talk about Lawson, not Oscar. Oscar did a tremendous job. He's a very physical blocker, and the one-handed catch he made over on our sideline kind of got momentum going.
Kirby, you
Coach,
talk about the offensive line. How close was Amarius to playing? Saw he dressed out tonight.
Don't really know. I talked to him a little bit before the game. He felt like he was close, but it wasn't completely ready yet. We'll see again when he gets another week of rehab, and Monroe's getting better with these reps, and Truss is too.
Coach, what was the key to Carson's development at a position that doesn't play a bunch of guys the first 3 years?
Carson's commitment to getting better. I mean, he had really good coaching. He played in a really good system. He was around really good players, and he watched them. I mean, I honestly think the reps we dedicate to our 2s and 3s all year round make us easier to transition the next year. So I felt great about Carson coming into the season because of the work he had. I mean, we go out and make him go against the one defense. So he plays against good teams.
Coach, between the turnover and between the stop on 4th down, how beneficial was that for the offense, not just scoring points, but also building confidence for them?
Yeah, the field position battle. I mean, that's just overwhelming. You feel like on defense you're constantly against the wall. When the offense walks out there and starts, I don't know what yard line we were on those 2 times, but those were big momentum builders.
Why was it important the months that you've been at home, looking ahead how excited you get back at home, and schedule-wise, do you kind of like going that long without a home game?
I don't care about the schedule. I mean, whatever it is, it is. We just strap it on and go. But it's going to be a big one next week. That's what you're getting at. I mean, that's a really good team. I've always said they're extremely physical, big, tough. Eli does an incredible job on offense. Nobody's playing better offensively right now in the country than they are with their quarterback. So we looked at them in the off week. We took a day and said, hey, we're going to look at these guys before we move to Florida, and they're good. And they'll be well rested coming into our place.
Kirby, I know you probably don't care about Tuesday night, the first set of rankings, but what are you typically doing on a Tuesday night when those come out?
Well, we work on all our tape. We watch the practice, and then we go 3rd down, plan, and go over that. I mean, I don't even see it. I get text messages about it and things like that, but we all know the deal. I mean, you got to win the games you play and take care of that. The rest of it is out of our hands.
Brock obviously doesn't play today, but he travels with you. Why bring Brock obviously doesn't play today, but he still travels with you guys. What does he bring to this team when, even though he's not able to help and be?
I just wanted to make sure he'd rehab. Put my own eyes on him. Nah, he's great. He wanted to come. He's the spirit of this team. I mean, for this guy has been at every meeting. He was at the punt walkthrough today. I mean, he goes to everything, and he's front center, on time, ready to go, and still gets all his rehab done. So, I mean, that's just the kind of kid he is, and everybody looks at him like, we've had other guys get that injury and they disappear for weeks and come back. He missed anything. He loves football and he loves his team.
Coach, I know you don't care about the outside noise. Every week it seems like the National Me's picking a team to upset Georgia.
Yeah.
How do you keep that from seeping into the locker room for the guys if they're listening to that outside noise?
I don't even hear it. I mean, I literally don't, so I don't address it. I think they may hear it because they're on their phones 24/7, and it bothers me that they may hear that, or they may feel anxiety, they may feel pressure from this, win thing. At the end of the day, the quickest way to lose it is think about that. So when you think about attacking somebody and coming after them every play, and with a mindset of Friday the 13th, they can't kill Jason. He keeps coming back, man. Like you got to keep going that way and think that way aggressively, so you're not paranoid about that. And I don't see it or hear it, but I know it's out there. Somebody texted me before the game. It's like all these people predicting that we're not gonna, we're not gonna win today, and I'm just like, golly, where's that coming from? Supposed to be my friend. He didn't like to recruit though, so that's all that gets him.
Let's take 2 more questions.
Coach, I know he's not by y'all, but as far as Dejon Edwards goes, do you think he's one of the more underrated running backs in the league?
I think he's an unbelievably tough kid that runs really hard, has great vision and balance. People hate tackling him, and he plays behind a really good offensive line and a good offense, and he makes the most of it. You've not met a more durable, tough. I mean, he picked up a blitz today, and he threw it up in there. And he's about 200 pounds, and the guy Cummins about 230, 240, and says a lot about just him and who he is.
You talked about Missouri's quarterback play, but how do you evaluate number 3 and number 7 for Missouri heading into that?
Well, that wouldn't be fair because I had one day, and it was like I know how talented they are. We recruited really both of them, but one of them hard. I know that they're terrorizing defenses across our conference, and they're extremely talented in a good system.
I asked Bullard about the opening drive touchdowns you guys are giving up 3 times this season, and he said we have to wake up. Is that something you guys have talked about? Or?
I think we're awake. If anything, we may be overdoing it. Sometimes I think that we we think it over, we think too much. We do a lot with our players. We walk through, we do a 100-play script the day before the game, the day of the game, and maybe we're overdoing it. Maybe we're a little nervous. I don't know, but I'd rather have them finish the way they finish than start the way they start.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kirby.